to Jank Play TCG. My name's Landon, and here we play Jank. And today I'm going to be talking about Sir Pinch. This is a deck I've been working on for a little while. It's featured on some streams, and I think it's in the best place it can be. It's not a perfect deck, though. Someone else could probably take what I got here, subtract the Volbeat and Illumise, and probably make a better deck. But let's get into the details, right? So Sir Pinch is a deck that revolves around Pinsir, and it's slow crunch attack. For 2 energy, you discard all energy from this Pokemon. At the end of your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon will be knocked out. That's no damage done, that is just a pure and simple knockout, right? But because it's an effect on the opponent's Pokemon, it has to wait until they have to stay in the active until the end of their turn, and then they're KO'd, right? So how do we do that? How do we make sure our opponent doesn't retreat, right? Well, we're playing 2/2 line of Ariados, and this could probably be swapped out for Spidops, depending on if you're expecting to see some big basics. I went Ariados just because A, it's a new card, and B, it's not a 2-prize liability, right? All these Pokemon are single prizes, meaning I'm not going to be giving up extra trades that I can't afford. But yeah, the big net ability, your opponent's active evolution Pokemon retreat cost is 1 more. And it's got this backup attack of String Bind, 30 damage for each energy in there, in the opponent's active retreat cost, right? So you can get a little bit of damage. It's like baby Spidops, but yeah, went with the Ariados line. We're playing Radiant Greninja to be more consistent with concealed cards. We're playing Tatsugiri with that attract customers ability to get our supporters. And then just for fun, I threw in Volbeat and Illumise, right? Volbeat has a very unique attack called Quick Sign. If you go first, you can use this attack during your first turn. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon, put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. It's a very nice way to get out your basics. It's colorless, so it could fit in any deck. We are playing grass, though, so whatever about that. And you can use it on your first turn going first. Now, we do only play as a 1-of. It's not something we're counting on, but it's a nice bonus when we get it. I should mention, it's also got a 2-energy attack, Coordinated Strike. If Illumise is on your bench, this attack does 60 more. Base 20 means total 80, right? And all you need is Illumise on your bench, and Volbeat's doing 80. And that's not too bad. That would knock out an opposing Tatsugiri or what have you, right? And then let's check out Illumise. Does it have anything more than just sitting on the bench for Volbeat? It kind of does. The Slowing Perfume, you can only use this attack if you go second and only during your first turn. Shuffle one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, all attached cards into the deck, right? So it's a little bit of disruption. It's sad that you can only use it on your first turn. I think it would be fine if it could be used at any time. I mean, what, Noctowl I think did multiple Pokemon, and this only does 1, like, whatever. But yeah, it all revolves around Pinsir, right? We're trying to stay as consistent as possible while disrupting our opponent and letting that slow crunch do its work. So let's go ahead and check out what we got. We got 12 energy here. It's 8 grass and 4 Boomerang energy. The awesome thing about Boomerang energy, and you're going to hear me call it Boomer energy because that's what it is, if this card is discarded by an effect of an attack used by the Pokemon this card is attached to, attach this card from your discard pile to that Pokemon after attacking. So Pinsir needs to discard all energy from it. But if one of them is a Boomer energy, then it will just reattach itself, meaning we still have that energy on there, and we don't need to be accelerating 2 energy all the friggin' time, as long as they don't knock us out, right? So let's dive into the trainers here. We got 2 copies of Switch in case we get something in the active we don't want there. We got 3 copies of Energy Retrieval because we're discarding so much energy. We need a way to get it back. We got 3 copies of Iono for a little bit of that disruption. 2 copies of Super Rod to recover what we need. Giovanni's Charisma. Okay, I was playing this deck with Gardenia's Vigor. And I was like, man, it feels good to accelerate, but it's never accelerating to what I need, which is the Pokemon in the active. But Giovanni's Charisma will not only accelerate to your active, but will also disrupt your opponent so that, you know, they have a harder time KOing you back or just can't. We've got one copy of Boss and one copy of Prime Catcher. Prime Catcher is our ace spec of choice. Feel free to change this option. You might be tempted by Legacy Energy or something along those lines, but Legacy Energy will get discarded, so don't do that, right? But Prime Catcher I felt like was a great inclusion. We got one copy of Pal Pad to recover what we need, like a Giovanni's, a Boss's, you know, that kind of stuff. We've got 4 copies of Nest Ball because we got a bunch of basics. 3 copies of Rescue Board for the Tatsugiris. 3 copies of Cynthia's Ambition, great draw card. 4 copies of Bug Catching Set. We do not have a way to search out evolutions except Bug Catching Set. And Ariados is the only evolution that we're playing, and it's grass type, so it's able to be searched out with Bug Catching Set. It also helps us grab our energies for when we need them for Giovanni's or just the turn to attach, right? So great card there. We got 2 copies of Arven and 4 copies of Enhanced Hammer. I know what you're saying. Why the heck do you have 4 copies of Enhanced Hammer for a little card called Mist Energy? There it is. Prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to the Pokemon this card is attached to, meaning Slow Crunch can never affect the opponent because Mist Energy prevents effects. So, yeah, we gotta get rid of that, and that is all handled by Enhanced Hammer. So, yep, that is the deck. Let's go ahead and jump into a match, see if we can get a good one, and see what you think of Sir Pinch, right? This is a fun deck. It doesn't necessarily win that often. Alright, who are we playing against? I saw Ogerpon sleeves. They're wearing the Raging Bolt jacket. So, Tails? I believe we get to choose. And we will, of course, go first. Come on, Volbeat. Alright. We got 2 Pinsirs and an Ariados. No Volbeat. That's fine, though. We'll work with this, right? We can still Nest Ball the Spinarak out. And, okay. Okay, looks like it is a Raging Bolt deck. The good thing about Raging Bolt is it has a high retreat cost, right? So we should be able to get these knockouts because it ain't moving from the active too often. We'll throw down a 3rd Pinsir. I don't care. More Pinsirs, and I love this alt art Pinsir, you know? It's just a beautiful card. Alright, we got Boomerang Energy going on there. We got Nest Ball. Now, I would grab Spinarak, but we just found out this is Raging Bolt. No need for Spinarak. Let's go ahead. I'm going to throw down Tatsugiri, actually, I think. That way I can... You know what? Nah, let's grab Radiant Greninja. Even though we don't have energy in hand currently, it's going to help us draw more cards. And let's go ahead and end turn. Our opponents start off with a Ogerpon. They're not going to want to have that in the active most of the time, so they're probably going to want to retreat, right? But we may have the advantage here, because if they don't know what Pinsir does, they may just fall into their standard routine, which is get Ogerpon out of the active, get Raging Bolt into the active, so it can do damage, right? Or we just need a Prime Catcher. There's the switch. We love to see it. Used so recklessly. Love it. Oh, that makes me feel so good. Alright, there's discarding Sandy Shocks for having 2 energy, a grass, and a, what's it called? Alright. Now, do they have the Sada? If they do, they might get a turn 1 attack, which would be pretty bad for us. But, there's the Arven. Thank you. I am expecting them to use Burst Roar, discarding stuff, all that, right? So what's this item going to grab? They're going to grab, what is the tool they're going to grab? Bug Catching Set and Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. Love to see Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. That is so pointless in this matchup. So as long as we can actually get Grass Energy here, I'm going to feel very confident that we're getting the knockout, right? I was hoping it was going to be a top deck. Now, how do I go about getting this grass energy? Cynthia's Ambition will draw me 1 card. Bug Catching Set. That's how. Let's go ahead and grab that. We're going to go and get Bug Catching Set and an Escape Board. Done. Come on, grass energy. Yes! Illumise, I really don't care. Sorry, but I just don't. Alright, and then we are just gonna slow crunch. Crunch, crunch, crunch. They might get the knockout, they might not. I'm hoping they don't, but either way, I think we'll be getting the knockout on Raging Bolt. I don't think they have the capability to double retreat, right? So there's that fighting energy. They need to discard 2 energy earned to get this knockout. Hopefully it'll both be from the Ogerpon. Like, hopefully they really aren't reading my cards, right? That is the goal here, because no one knows what Pinsir does except people that follow me. So, come on, Pinsir. Wait. Yeah, it's doing Bellowing Thunder. We get 2 prizes. Heck yeah. Oh, and you discard off the Ogerpon. You fool. Sorry, I don't mean to sound, like, rude or anything, but I did just call you a fool. And there's the slow crunch taking effect, knocking out the Raging Bolt. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. Alright, we get Grass Energy, Energy Retrieval. Those are pretty good cards. Our hand is really getting clunked up here, right? Man, what do we use? I think I'm going to use Concealed Cards first. Discard Grass, draw 2, get another Ariados. I've got Energy Retrieval. I can get an energy back. 1, 2. I can get both energies back, I should say. I've got Super Rod. I've got Luminous here, just needing to go away. I'll attach 1 Grass Energy to the active, because I think they're going to have a tough time knocking out Pinsir this next turn, right? I got Super Rod. It would just get me a Pinsir. I think I'm going to wait on that. Switch, don't need. I think I just end my turn there. Sadly, that's all I can do. I really do want to get Tatsugiri out, though. That way I can get that attract customers going with the escape board. So every time they knock me out, I can just whoop whoop and all that stuff, right? There's the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. Professor Sada's. Oh, they could get set up this turn. Okay, so they need a Lightning Energy on the Raging Bolt. They need to switch into the Raging Bolt and attack. They don't have that. Cool. Works for me. Yeah, we will go ahead and Concealed Cards. If we get Boss, that would be great. We don't, but that's okay. Let's see. We will attach another Basic Grass Energy, I think. And Slow Crunch. Crunch, crunch. So they need to get this Ogerpon out of the active, right? So they need a Grass Energy to attach and retreat. They need to get a Lightning Energy. There's the Teal Mask ability, getting that Grass Energy. There's another Ogerpon. There's Professor Sada, gonna have enough energy on that Raging Bolt in order to get a KO, right? They can even get the one off Sandy Shocks. That's a great play. That Sandy Shocks always flies under my radar, but it's such a good card in this matchup, right? Concealed Cards. They have Water Energy in this thing? Do they play the other Ogerpons? Is that what's going on? Why'd they put Sandy Shocks in the active? What the heck? Okay. I can live with this. Right? Yeah, totally. Ogerpon Teal Mask. Yep. Cool. Pokegear. Awesome. Boss's orders. Where are you going to boss up for me today? Where are you going to boss up? No, wait, you already did Sada, didn't you? You already did Sada. Alright, if I could get a Giovanni's Charisma right now, that would be beautiful. Wow! Oh, man, I try not to do that too often, but, like, the game just loves me. There we go. We got Energy Retrieval. Bring back some energy here. Done. I think I'm going to play Super Rod and shuffle stuff back in. Go 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's looking good. We got Switch, which is not necessary. So I will just Giovanni's Charisma, putting that Grass Energy back in their hand, attaching a Grass Energy. And then I'll put Boomerang Energy on. I'll slow Crunch. If they can't get Sandy Shocks out of the active on their turn, then it'll be knocked out at the end of their turn. Then they'll have to put something else up, which I can then slow Crunch. So it's all based on, can they get this Sandy Shocks out of the active? They're going to conceal cards. Is the water energy just for the Radiant Greninja? Just feels like it would be such a slow attachment, right? I don't know. Like, Raging Bolt, I just know it as use Ogre Pawn to accelerate energy for you to discard using the Raging Bolt attack, right? So seeing blue energy, water energy, just doesn't really, you know. And look at these freaking foils. This person went all out, except on Nest Ball. What the heck? And Pokegear, I guess. Does Earthen Vessel have a gold? It should. It so certainly should. Alright. So the Earthen Vesseled. Oh, they played Arven this turn? Or did they discard Arven? I think they played it. How much damage did that do? Oh, okay. I'll still be alive. I'm good. I was worried there for a second. What's Discord doing? I got a notification on Discord. Nothing. Well, and there's a conversation going on about bad supporters. If you want to be in with the... Oh, counter catcher, eh? That's a bad move. Right? That's just a terrible move. Right? Am I missing something? I already got the rescue board on them. You know, I called the Sandy Shocks being brought into the active a bad move. Yeah, they're going to do their damage. Slow Crunch is going to occur. Get this knockout. They got to put something in the active, which I'm just going to slow Crunch again, right? Now, if I could top deck a Boss's Orders or a Prime Catcher, I would be in heaven. You know? Just the perfect cards. Cool, so I will be able to conceal cards this Grass Energy. Oh my gosh! You aren't even making me try. I'm sorry. If this is you, I apologize. But, like, shoot, I played the cards in the wrong order because I was so freaking excited. There we go. Bug Catching Set. Let's get Spinarak. Why not? I'm going to play it down just for shoots and giggles, right? Grass Energy onto the Pinsir. Retreat. Bring up the Pinsir. And slow Crunch. Crunch. Boomerang Energy brings it right back, but they're going to knock me out using the Bellowing Thunder attack, right? So, they do need the double switch. If you don't know what the double switch is, I did a video on it, but the quick rundown is they need to move Raging Bolt out of the active and then back into the active, right? And there's several different ways you can do that. Palkia V-Star is not something I was expecting to see. Well, that's Palkia V, but you know what I mean, right? I do kind of like the V-Star ability to power up either the Radiant Greninja or just a Palkia and start whacking, right? I can definitely see there being use there. Water energy, you say? Yep, Teal Dance. I'm getting very familiar with Ogre Pawn. End of this week, I will probably have a Ogre Pawn video out. So, Ogre Pawn deck. I'm calling it Boxer Pawn. I know other people call it Ogre Box. I'm calling it Boxer Pawn. I like it more. But it's just a box of Ogre Pawns. And it's doing me fairly well. Like, I think people have just haven't been taking that deck seriously. which is really a shame. Why would you attach to the active like that? You can retreat, and I would be all for it. Go ahead, throw all 3 of those energies into the grave, or into the discard, while you have how many of your Sadas in the discard? Oh, did you just Pal Pad? No, the Pal Pad was a little while ago. Nope, you're gonna Bellowing Thunder and give me 2 prizes. Oh man, this is just too good. Why did you discard that way? You know what Slow Crunch does. You know it. I don't understand. Slow Crunch. Crunch, crunch. 2 prizes. Thank you kindly. Doot, doot. Hey, I messed up on my energy retrieval. They messed up on their discarding stuff, right? It happens. Now what am I gonna do, huh? Depends on what they put up. Okay, so I could do some damage there, right? I'm going to evolve Ariados up. I'm going to play down Volbeat, play the Boomerang Energy. I should have concealed cards before all this. Before all of this, I should have concealed cards. I'm fine. No, I don't need to play another Pinsir. I'm going to retreat into Volbeat here and just let them take it. Right? Just let them take it. Now, they could grab 2 prizes using the Radiant Greninja, which is probably their most optimal play. But it still doesn't get them the win. And I only need 1 prize while they need 4. Right? So, I am sad I wasn't able to get the Slow Crunch off on Palkia, but if they evolved, which they just did, it removes the effect, right? But also, Palkia V-Star is a evolution Pokemon, meaning its retreat cost is increased, meaning it'll be harder to get this thing out of the active. I do wish I could have got to my second Ariados up, but, you know, if wishes were ponies, we'd all be eating steak, I think is the phrase. And if people don't understand that reference, it's from Firefly. A great show. Highly recommend you watch it. Alright, Radiant Greninja goes into the active. Grass Energy on the Pinsir. I don't think I could play like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards just to draw a few with Cynthia's ambition. Is that a good idea? I don't think so, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. To draw 1 card, I have to play. No. I'm just going to, hey, concealed cards. Yes, it's a Boomerang Energy. That's fine, though. Pal Pad. Do I have supporters in there that I want back? Giovanni's Charisma I kind of want back. I'm only going to take Giovanni's. I'm not going to take Arven's. And let's retreat into Pinsir and Slow Crunch. Now, it is only increased by 1, right? So they just need to attach an energy and retreat, which maybe they have. But that means that, yeah, Professor Sada's got to kick off here to attach to one of these. Boss's orders. Where are you bossing up? Radiant Greninja, just knock it out. Please. I'm begging you. Just do it. We win! Slow Crunch, baby. I was not expecting this victory. Holy cow. You need to read your opponent's cards, right? Because Pinsir's not that hard to counter, but you gotta read your cards. So, yeah. Hint to all of you, read your cards. Don't let this happen to you. Public service announcement. The more you know. Alright, thank you so much to my opponent, who I I genuinely thank them for playing against Pinsir. I know it can be frustrating because it's a card that not many people are familiar with, right? And you may not even be as familiar with how effects occur. But thank you to my opponent for playing against Pinsir, giving me such a good... What attack did I use that used 3 energy? Huh. But that was Sir Pinch. I hope you enjoyed the look at this deck, and I hope maybe you take it to a locals one night and just have fun with it, or something along those lines, because it is a very fun deck to people that, especially against people that don't read cards or don't understand how effects work, right? So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead, like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell to know when I go live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. And check out the Discord, which I already shouted out earlier, so link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, until next time, keep playing Jank.